Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Classic Comics. So, the Marvels is a thing that exists. So, there are going to be spoilers for this review, just to let you know. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on the plot because honestly, so much of this, it just doesn't make any sense that I don't see a whole lot of point to it. For years now, Disney has been honing and perfecting the science of cringe. And with the Marvels, they have finally perfected it. This movie is a singularity of cringe. I mean, every minute of this film, there was something on the screen making me groan, making my eyes roll, or rub my temples. I'm not even sure when this is supposed to be taking place. It's obviously sometime after WandaVision, but is it after Secret Invasion? Before Secret Invasion? I don't even know. Oh, yeah, and those trailers and commercials with Thanos and Iron Man in them, making you think that this is some sort of sequel to Endgame. It's not. It's not even close. It has nothing to do with Thanos or the Infinity Gauntlet or any of that. So there's this Cree named dar-benn, and she finds this armband on an alien world, but was expecting to find two of them, and she wants to know where the other one is. Now, her armband turns out to be one of a set, and the other is the armband that is worn by Kamala Khan, aka Ms. Marvel. Somehow, her armband and the powers of Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau, they all start switching places.
None of this makes sense.
And the armbands turn out to be the quantum bands, which in the comics are used by a hero named Quasar. The armbands were used to construct the system of hyperspace gates that allow interstellar travel, and dar-benn's use of the bands causes a disruption in the network, which draws the attention of Nick Fury and Rambeau, and Fury contacts Captain Marvel and gets her involved. Then dar-benn attacks a world where the Skrulls have set up a colony, and she creates a gateway in the sky which sucks away all the planet's atmosphere. She then goes to this other world called Aladan, whose surface is covered with 99% water. Now, this is where the cringe really kicks into overdrive. People on this world only communicate through song, so everyone is constantly launching into musical numbers.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
After dar-benn has sucked the oceans away, we learn that dar-benn is doing this because the Kree homeworld Hala is dying. After the events of the first Captain Marvel movie, Captain Marvel flew to Hala and destroyed the Supreme Intelligence, the AI which had ruled the Kree for thousands of years. But afterwards, the Kree society fell into a civil war, and somehow, in 30 years, their atmosphere is toxic, and their oceans have all dried up, and somehow their sun is dying? How did a civil war cause that?
I don't know. It's a mystery.
So after replacing Hala's air and water, she wants to drain the energy from Earth's sun to reignite Hala's sun, and the Marvels travel back to Earth to stop her. Now, Fury, as well as Kamala's family, it's a long story, don't ask, are on a space station, and when dar-benn opens a hyperspace gate to drain the sun, it damages the station and it has to be evacuated. But the station only has enough escape pods to save about half the crew on the station. Wow, fucking brilliant, right? Now, here's where it gets really stupid.
Turn it off.
So, the Flerken, that alien thing that looks like a cat, it's on the station and it has kittens. Lots of kittens. Doesn't give birth like a cat, it lays eggs and then they all hatch, and soon the station is overrun with these kitten things. So, you know how the Flarkins can somehow swallow large objects, even objects larger than they are? They save the crew by having them run around the station swallowing everybody, then putting the kittens in the escape pod so everyone can be evacuated. Yeah. And then we get this sequence with everyone on the station getting swallowed while Memory from Cats is playing.
They're what we thought they were.
Yeah, Memory from Cats. Because, cats. They look like cats because cats are cutesy wootsy and OMG kitties. Oh, I hate this shit.
Turn it off!
Anyway, they defeat dar-benn and save the Earth. The end. Well, there's a little more. Dar-benn created a gateway to another reality, and it begins growing, and Monica Rambeau has to fly into it and seal it to stop it from swallowing the Earth. She winds up in another reality, and in the mid-credit sequence, she wakes up in a hospital of some kind and meets an alternate version of her mother, who is dressed like Binary, which is another version of Carol Danvers in the comics. It's a long story. And then also the Beast is there, voiced by Kelsey Grammer, although he's all CGI, but he is there briefly. Man, there is just so much in this movie that doesn't make sense. It's hard to even get into it all. Disney has created a total mess with this movie. It's so bad. I mean, it's like the cringe can't even be resisted. Why is Hala's son dying again?
I don't know. It's a mystery.
And how did a civil war dry up Hala's oceans in 30 years?
None of this makes sense.
You know, it's really impressive how Disney's girl centric princess culture has completely taken over numerous IPs that were always male centric and now turned them into girl brands.
They are who we thought they were.
And The Marvels is the ultimate expression of this.
Poor, deluded females.
The movie was quite literally not made for you if you're male. I guess I should talk about what was actually decent in this movie. As far as the cast goes, they get the job done for the most part. Brie Larson isn't as annoying in this one as she was in the first film. Teyona Paris as Monica Rambeau is fine, I guess. The only character that makes much of an impression, really, is Aman Vellani as Kamala Khan. It's not that she's such a great actress, but she makes a positive impression because she's the only one who seems to actually want to be there. The rest of the cast seems to be going through the motions due to contractual obligations, especially Samuel L. Jackson. And the whole plot device of the characters switching places is actually handled pretty well early on in the film, although it doesn't make a lot of sense. It does make for some creative action sequences as the characters are fighting different battles while switching between different locations. And the fight choreography is actually pretty well done. The CGI is kind of sketchy. Some of it looks fine, but there are sequences where it looks pretty rough. And by the way, Ms. Marvel is showing doing some pretty elaborate fighting moves with her flipping around, doing parkour and other martial arts stuff. Isn't she a 15-year-old girl with no training? How is she doing all this stuff?
I don't know. It's a mystery.
Beyond that, The Marvels doesn't have much going for it, and the audience seems to have largely checked out at this point.
You blew it!
Box office projections all seem to indicate that this thing is going to be DOA.
And you didn't disappoint.
And really, it's about time, isn't it? With a couple of exceptions, the MCU has been coasting on hype ever since Endgame, and the general audience has finally realized what some of us have been saying for years. And in their determination to market to a different demographic than the one that made these characters and films successful in the first place,
Poor, deluded females.
Marvel has killed the golden goose and driven Disney to the verge of financial ruin.
You blew it!
So, in closing, do you like musicals? Do you like films about girl power? Do you like cute kitties? Do you like lame, cloying attempts at humor? Well, then this movie is the one for you. Otherwise, give the Marvels a pass. Thumbs down, way down on this one. On a scale of 1 to 5, I'll give the Marvels one hairball. Now, have you seen the Marvels? And judging from how many attended my showing of it, you probably haven't. I think there might have been maybe 20 people in the theater.
I see this as an absolute win.
Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the Marvels. And also, please like this video before you leave and sub to the channel and check out some of my other videos before you leave. And I will see you all next time. Thanks for watching.
Turn it off.